Namaskar, welcome to the Global Eye. You're with me, Mausami. And today's story is about the line of control, where India's defenders turned yet another night of danger into a testament of courage. On the night of August 13 in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri sector, the Indian Army thwarted a major infiltration bid from across the border. It wasn't a casual exchange of fire. It was a fierce gunfight with armed terrorists trying to slip into Indian territory under the cover of darkness. Nothing new. Nothing new from the side of Pakistan. One of our brave soldiers made the supreme sacrifice, sadly, while defending the nation. In the aftermath, a counter-infiltration operation was launched to hunt down the attackers, ensuring not a single threat escapes justice. But here's where the story gets even more layered and troubling. This incident comes days after a coordinated burst of rhetoric from Pakistan's top leadership. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, Army Chief Asim Munir threatening India from a foreign soil. Former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, they did not just talk about hostility, they talked about war, rivers and destruction. Munir's veiled threats, Bilawal's provocative statements about taking back all 6 rivers, and even calls that can be interpreted as encouraging unrest and terrorism, all formed a background score of belligerence. So here's the question that seem to be uncomfortable. Was this infiltration attempt just coincidence, or was it the first physical echo of those threats? When Bilawal, speaking to his own people, uses language that normalizes hostility towards India, is that not an open invitation for radicals and terror groups to act? Is this what Pakistan's Independence Day now looks like? Infiltration bids and gunfire on the border, while speeches in Islamabad fuel the fire. But the real questions now are for Islamabad's power players. Asim Munir, is your job to defend Pakistan or to bleed it for your own ego? Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, do you realize your words send poor brainwashed youth to die at the LOC while you sit in air-conditioned safety? And to Pakistan's so-called democracy, how long will you allow your leaders to treat terrorism as a national sport? And yet, even in the face of such provocation, India's reply was clear, firm, precise, and decisive. The infiltration bid was stopped cold, a message to all who think they can slip past our borders that the cost will be unbearable. But we must ask ourselves and the world, how long will Pakistan's leadership use hate as a political currency? How many more young men will they send across knowing they will not return? And how should India respond when words turn into cross-border action? The LOC was drawn on a map decades ago. But as long as there are those willing to die crossing it and others willing to send them, the soldiers who guard it will remain our first and fiercest line of defense. Tonight, one of them is no longer with us. But because of him and those who stood beside him, the tricolor still flies untrespassed in Uri. Let the Munirs and Bilawals of the world understand, every time you push, the LOC will push back harder. For more deep insights, keep watching The Global Eye.